Hi, welcome. Happy Saturday. I am Ellie and I am a certified yoga instructor currently volunteering with the Pink Ribbon Place, offering the yoga classes on Facebook Lives 9 a.m. in English and 11 a.m. in Spanish. So, welcome to today's class. As you can see today, we have changed our scenery. Due to the fires and the air quality and everything outside, today's practice will be indoors and it is a little bit of a tighter squeeze in here. But we're still going to make it work. We're still going to have a good time. We're still going to get a little bit of our practice in, so I'm very excited. Um, and a couple of things before we get started. Go ahead and make sure you have your mat with you wherever you are deciding to practice. Your strap, if you happen to have one. If not, you can always use a belt or a scarf. In case you have them, but they are not necessary, you can always bring out your yoga blocks like this guy right here. And lastly, a yoga blanket like this one. And if you don't have a blanket, I do recommend at least a towel or just a household blanket. We will be using this for one of our poses, or I will be highly recommending it. So I do, again, highly recommend that you bring it out just to play with a little bit later. Besides that, just a couple of things. Just remember to, always listen to your body. Don't force yourself into any of our poses or anything that we're going to do today. And most importantly, obviously, have a lot of fun and enjoy the practice on this day. I know many of us are experiencing issues, obviously, with the air quality outside, but that should not be a reason to stop us from, enjoying a little bit of yoga and enjoying a little bit of, movement in our day. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start our class laying down. I'm going to go ahead and stay seated while we do our opening meditation. And that's simply just because, again, the camera is pretty limited today. So I'm going to try and stay in range as much as I can. I'm sorry. So as much as I can, I will try and stay in the picture so you guys can see me. So go ahead and start reclined. Finding yourself a really comfortable spot. And just taking a really big breath in through the nose. And exhaling out through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One last time. Inhaling big breath in through the nose. Holding and exhaling out through the mouth. And as we begin to settle in, start making your body feel a little bit heavier. Maybe every breath that you take and then every exhale, a little bit of that stress from the week goes away. Whatever problems you have for the next 20, 25 minutes, go ahead and forget about them. This is your time right now, and I promise that all of that will be there once we're done with our practice today. So go ahead, allow yourself this very little time just for yourself. Continue breathing in and breathing out. Try to bring that breath all the way down to the toes and then all the way back out. Maybe you start to relax the shoulders a little bit more. You start to get a little bit deeper and a little bit heavier into your mat. Relaxing that space in between the eyebrows. If there's anything that I want you to work on today, anything that I want you to focus on, is just to keep breathing. Breathe through your practice. Breathe through everything that we do. You're welcome to stay here if you'd like to. If you are ready to move, go ahead and begin by wiggling the fingers and toes, still keeping those eyes closed. Taking those hands overhead, coming into a really big, nice stretch, making yourself really long. And bringing those hands back down. Keeping that right leg down, go ahead and bring in that left leg, bringing that knee in towards center. And just when you're grabbing that knee, taking it out to the side, starting to flex those toes. And start bringing that foot out towards the side. Maybe making little circles, opening up that left hip a little bit. Circles one way, circles the other way. Just something that feels good. Again, we're just kind of waking up the body. And when we're ready, coming back to center. And taking that that leg all the way across for a really gentle twist. You might hear your lower back pop. That is okay, as long as it is a good pop. When we're ready, coming back to center, and all we're doing is switching legs. So if you went in the opposite direction of me, that is okay, as long as you get both sides nice and stretched out. So go ahead and bring that right leg in, giving that leg a nice little hug, and slowly begin opening that hip out towards the right side, keeping those right toes flexed. Maybe start to make little circles one way, and maybe the other way. Again, we're just checking in today. You know, it's still very early on. We're just really just checking how our hips are doing, how the body's doing. Taking that leg right across the body for a gentle twist. And when we're ready, coming back to center. Bringing that leg down, taking those hands overhead one more time, giving yourself a nice big stretch. Make yourself really, really long. And then in your own way, let's go ahead and come on to hands and knees. Making sure that those those knees are about hip width distance apart. So normally that is really just about right here. It's not this far out and it's not this close in. It's right about here. So go ahead and bring those knees right to where those the little hip areas right here. Planting those hands down about shoulder distance apart, making sure those hands are nice and spread out. All we're gonna do is inhale, dropping that belly down. And exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the spine. Inhale, dropping that belly. Exhale, tucking that chin, rounding that spine. Last time, inhale, dropping that belly, really pushing into that mat. Exhale, rounding that spine, trying to push that back into the ceiling, trying to stamp, your back into the ceiling, really, really pushing, and coming back to center. Give yourself a nice little wiggle. When you're ready here, you have two options. You can either, you will be bringing that right foot towards center. You can go ahead and tuck those toes, keeping those hands out right where they are. Taking that left foot, you're going to begin reaching it out. I know it's going to cut out of the camera right now, but go ahead and bring it out like I am doing so. You want to avoid this dipping like I am doing with my lower back, and you want to keep it nice and straight. Again, pushing with those hands. Now here, if at any moment you feel any pain, just go ahead and come back down here. You can work on a couple more little cat-cows. But if you are ready to go ahead and bring that foot out right behind us. And then as I'm going out, that that left foot is nice and flexed. Staying very active, squeezing those glutes in. And if you want a little bit more, you can take that right hand and reach it out in front of you. Like I said, the camera is cutting off a little bit, but all that the hand is doing is reaching out in front as that foot is reaching out behind me. And really working, really keeping those abs nice and tight, making sure we're not dipping into our low back, staying nice and strong, and when we're ready, coming down. Give yourself a nice little wiggle. If we need to, we can go ahead and do a couple more cat-cows. Inhale, dropping that belly down. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding that spine. Inhale, dropping the belly. And exhale, rounding that spine. Last one, inhale, dropping that belly, really pushing those shoulders and those hands away from the mat. Exhale, tucking that chin, rounding that spine. When we're ready, taking that left leg and placing it in right in the middle, getting ourselves nice and set. And when we're ready, pushing that right leg out behind us. Again, we want to avoid going out too much like this, dipping that back. Instead, we want to keep that back nice and straight. Hips are pointing down and foot is out behind us. If we want to work a little bit more, once we find our foundation, we can always bring that left hand out. One more breath here. And when we're ready, coming back to our hands and knees. Give yourself a nice little wiggle. You are always welcome to do a couple more cat-cows here. And when we're ready, walking those hands forward, tucking those toes, and coming up into our down dog. Taking a moment here to find maybe a little bit of stillness. Letting that head hang down. And maybe you slowly begin bending those knees one at a time, kind of waking up the calves, waking up the hamstrings, just a quick little hello. And you're ready. Inhale, lifting that right leg up. If you have any low back issues, please ignore this cue and just place your right foot in between your hands. If not, lifting that right leg up and place that foot right in between your hands. Making sure that dropping that back heel and making sure that those heels are in line with each other. Using that front knee and coming all the way up to our warrior two. If you're having any shoulder issues, go ahead and bring those hands to heart center as I am doing, making sure that front knee is nice and bent. And just taking another moment here, settling into our pose. This might be the first time that you're doing this all week, maybe since last time we saw each other, and that is perfectly okay. You've made it to your mat today, and that is all that matters. Maybe go a little bit deeper, or maybe not, but maybe you want to go a little bit deeper, and maybe not. From the hands out towards the side, go ahead and straighten out that leg for a moment. Give it a nice little break. We will be going into our side angle stretch. So you are always welcome to, again, hang out anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Begin bending that knee. Hands are out towards the side. Taking that forearm and going and placing it right in that thigh area right here. What I want to avoid here is sinking into the shoulder like this. Instead, I want to create a little bit of space here. Keeping that arm nice and active, keeping everything nice and bent here, and work on bringing that torso out like I am doing, and hand can come straight up, or you can sweep it around towards the front like I'm doing and out towards the side, like that. And like always, you can always place the hand on the hip. One more breath here. When we're ready, coming back to our warrior two, straight back to reverse warrior. And cartwheeling those hands all the way back down, picking up that back heel and stepping that right foot all the way back to our down dog. Bending those knees. When you're ready, lifting up that left leg, bending that knee and placing that foot right in between your hands. Dropping that back heel. Once you've had that nice straight foundation that we're looking for, go ahead and either cartwheel your hands up or pushing up onto that left knee, coming all the way up to your warrior two. From here, taking a moment, once again, trying to find your foundation. Many times while we're in this pose of warrior two, that front knee always tends to kind of go in. So take a moment right now to check if your front knee is kind of leaning in towards, your center, and so go ahead and bring it back out. Again, working that external rotation of that front leg. One more breath here. Again, you can always bend a little bit forward, back just a little bit, just enough. When ready, straighten out that front leg. Give it a nice little break. It's still early in the morning. It's still very, very early for a weekend, and we're already working hard, so give it a nice little break. It's earned it. When we're ready, bending that knee, taking that left forearm, placing it on that thigh. Remember again, we're looking to find a little bit of space here. We're not looking to sink everything in, staying nice and open, keeping that torso pointing outward. And hand up or hand out to the front. And if you'd like, hand at the hip, whatever really feels the most comfortable for you this morning. Looking down. Go ahead and bring those hands back up. Give yourself a nice little break one more time. Bend that knee, flip that front palm, and reverse your warrior. Cartwheeling those hands all the way back down, stepping that foot back into your warrior two. Sorry, into your down dog. I am so sorry. I tried to obviously make sure that we were still good on the phone, and I could not obviously multitask. So we are back into our down dog, dropping those knees down, taking those knees wide, big toes touch, sending those hips back, and coming right into our child's pose. This is an excellent time if you want to go ahead and grab some water, or if you just want to hang out for a couple of breaths here. Coming back up to our hands and knees. Taking again that distance between shoulders and hip width distance. We're going to be working mostly our legs, so hands can stay right where they are. Taking that right leg and placing it right in the center one more time like we did before we were up and moving. And take that left leg again behind you like I did, making sure you're nice and grounded on here. If you feel like you want to kind of come up against the wall like this too, just so you can have a little bit more of a balance or stability, go ahead and move up onto a wall. The wall is really one of the best props in yoga because it is very sturdy. It is one of my favorite props. So go ahead and go up against the wall if you need to. When we're ready, like I said, bringing that leg out. From here, once we made sure that we're not dipping into that back, keeping that leg nice and high, keeping those glutes nice and active, maybe you hold a leg here, and that's okay. You can hang out here. Maybe it goes up a little bit higher without bending that back down like this, without sinking into that back. So maybe it goes a little higher. You're definitely going to be feeling this in the glutes a little bit. And maybe if you want to challenge yourself just a little bit, maybe that leg starts to come out, still flex towards your side. So out towards the left side. And it comes back. Could go up higher, maybe out towards the side. Again, maintaining that leg nice and active. You should definitely be feeling a lot all over your body. And bringing it back down. Wiggle out, taking a moment. And we're going to go ahead and do the second side. So again, taking that left leg, finding that little bit of that, balance in between. Right leg pushes back. I know I'm sweating. It is actually pretty hot in this room, so I'm already sweating. Feels like an actual yoga room in here. That's nice. And again, maybe that leg hangs out here. Maybe it goes up a little bit higher. And maybe, just maybe, you bring it out. Really working those abs, really working that leg, everything working, and bringing it back and down. Wiggle out. Yeah, that one, it looks so sweet, right? You're starting off and you're like, oh, this is easy. We're going to do some cat-cows because it's a very sweet pose. And it quickly, starts to work a little bit of those hands and knees. So let's go ahead. Come back to hands and knees. Tuck those toes. Bring those hands forward. Coming into our down dog. Looking forward. Walking those hands to the front of, walking those feet. I don't know how you would walk your hands. Sorry. Inhale to the tip of your fingers, keeping that back nice and flat. Exhale, plant those hands, bend those knees. Use those knees, come all the way up. Inhale, hands all the way up. Coming to center. I know it's been a very long week. I work we still kind of like construction pieces. So with everything going on, construction still maintained throughout, all of COVID. So we've been very busy at work. Very happy, very blessed to be busy at work. But it is a very long 5 days. Standing nice and tall, getting nice and grounded. Again, here, this is an excellent time to go ahead and use your wall if you need to. You could demonstrate on this side. Here, you're gonna get nice and grounded. Begin reaching that left leg up towards you. So you make it come, you don't reach down for it. You kind of work that leg a little bit. You bring it up. You tell it who's boss. It's coming up, and go ahead and grab it. I'm still holding on to this wall. Maybe you hang out here. Maybe you work a little bit on just bringing up that leg as much as you can, Maybe you want a little bit more and you bring it out towards the side. And then maybe here you work on, lifting it a little bit higher. You have two options here, whichever one is the best for you. And what I've found too that really does help in these balance poses is as we're working with that left leg to try and keep it up, working all those thighs to maintain it up, I really like to keep that right big toe really, really nice and grounded into the ground. And it really just helps to maintain that that balance in that foot. When you're ready, go ahead and bring that foot down. Wiggle that right ankle out. Did a lot of work. And when we're ready, standing nice and tall. Big breath in. And inhale. If you got that wall next to you, great. Bringing that that right foot all the way up, up, up. It can do it on its own. You guys are doing great. This can come up all the way on its own, and then go ahead and grab it. Maybe you practice here, like I said, working, again, those little hip flexors here, where you try to bring it up as much as you can on its own. And then maybe you also bring it out to the side. Carpet is just not my friend today. The balance is not happening today for me, and that's okay. When you're ready, bringing it back to center, bringing that foot down, and shaking out that left one. So yeah, it's always so funny because some days, we do our class outside in the grass and the balance is so awesome and it's like, what? This is crazy. And there's other days like today where carpet is just, it's not my friend. It is not happening for me on the carpet. But, okay. From here, let's go ahead and come down. Grab your blankets. This is something I believe we have not done in this, our Saturday classes. This is a modified version that we're going to be doing of half moon. Traditional half moon is fully standing up and reaching out, looking something like this. Obviously a lot more warm up. That is still pretty early, but that is something that our full moon or half moon, but full traditional way looks like. But today we will be doing our modified. It's a lot sweeter and it really is very, 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 very accessible. So be excited. Do not be scared. Go ahead and take your blanket and place it on here if you're working on hardwood floor. If not, if you're like me working on carpet, you will be okay, but you can always go ahead and place that blanket right here for your knee. So we got our imaginary blanket right there. When we're ready, coming down to all fours like we did before, bringing that right leg in a little bit. And all we're going to do from here is shift that leg. If you can see, the right leg back here is just going to come out towards the side. Toes are pointed, they're tucked in, so I'm using the tucked toes kind of as a little kickstand to really, hold myself up from here. And taking that hand and placing it right above the shoulders, kind of in line with that knee. So these are kind of in line one with each other. When we're ready, maybe you bring that hand up, and that foot is nice and grounded on here. Again, keeping that torso nice and open. And maybe you're hanging out here and this is great. Maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit and maybe work on bringing that foot out like we did earlier. Again, avoiding that dip in that back. So staying nice and right, pretending we have a wall behind us. And maybe you just want to bring that hand out above you. Again, a couple different options, but you are more than welcome to try any of them. When you're done with one side, go ahead and come on to the other side. And go ahead and do the same thing. A very fun pose. This is actually one of my favorite, most exciting ones to try. Sometimes I do like to try it up against the wall. So while you guys are playing around with both sides, like I said, it's one of those, it's a very fun pose because you do definitely get a lot of that ab workout, and you also do get to play a little bit with balance, which balance is always really fun to play around with because, it just, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to fall sometimes. It's no big deal. It happens. We're human. When you're done with that, go ahead and come back down to seated with me. You can always take your blanket, place it behind you if you'd like to. And we're just going to bring those feet out right in front of us and reach forward. Now, if for any reason today you're just not feeling it, go ahead and grab your belt, strap, scarf, whatever you have, and just hook those feet on. This is still a very active pose, even though it just looks like we're sitting down. Go ahead and tuck those toes behind or tuck those toes towards you, standing up nice and straight. And then all you do use that strap for is just lean forward, maintaining that back nice and straight. And again, just getting a nice little stretch. We did a lot of opening, kicking legs out to the side, so this is just a nice little way to finish off. When you're ready, coming back to center, take that right leg, keeping that left leg where it's at. Take that right leg, bring it in, nice and tight, and just give it a nice little hug, giving yourself a little twist here. And as we twist, we still like to maintain ourselves nice and tall, nice and, avoid all the slouching. And when you're ready, switching sides. Nice little hug. I don't know about you guys, but I am a little sweaty this morning, so that is always nice, and it's very, very satisfactory to get a little sweat in the morning and coming back down. You are more than welcome to lay down as we go ahead and finish off our closing meditation, or you can stay seated like I am. Like I said, the camera is a little small today, so we work with what we have. Closing your eyes, whether you're sitting or laying down. Inhale, taking a big breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale in. Exhale through the mouth. Last one. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Just taking a moment here. Getting to enjoy all that amazing energy that you have created. It was a beautiful day, and you got up and moved this morning. It's an amazing thing, to be able to move, to be able to do a little exercise, to, make our bodies feel good. Taking one more big breath in. And exhale out. Bringing those hands to heart center, or you're always welcome to put them on your knees. It has been an honor and an amazing time getting to spend it with you today. I am very happy to be able to share such an amazing practice with you, something so beautiful. I am very honored, and like I said, I'm very honored and very happy to be able to, share this on a beautiful Saturday morning with you. And like I said, even if we're indoors, it's still not going to stop us from moving a little bit, having a good time, getting to do something that's going to make our bodies feel happy. So I do wish you an amazing, amazing weekend, everything. Continue checking the Riverside Community Health Foundation pages. And also, I am still working. I know I said my classes are in Spanish, but I do welcome all of you to check out Just Yoga Studio. They have an entire online platform that is completely amazing, and I do completely and highly recommend each of you to check it out if you want to get even more movement in, filled with amazing teachers. So I do recommend that. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And like I said, continue checking the Riverside Community Health Foundation page, the Pink Ribbon page, all those awesome pages. And until we meet again, namaste.